for you yesterday. You crushed me.
Yes.
You know, I was thinking about it on the way over here, and I was thinking the best way to lose that bet is for yours to win. It would be sort of annoying if you finished fourth and my horse has finished
No
fifth,
question
sixth,
about
and seventh, because at least you
My
got the
Naira
cash.
bets count felt the same way. It was
Oh,
the way to lose that bet was
right.
me to win.
Neither one of us root for the other guy to lose. We want to win the bet. But
Correct.
if you're going to lose the bet,
Yes.
want to see you win.
Get the money,
Glad to see
yes.
you win. You were right. That horse ran well, so good call.
Thank you very much. Yeah,
My horses ran second, third, and fourth and fifth behind you, but she beat them, and she beat them fair and square. No question about it.
I think Hennig's horse ran, Singular Sensation ran well.
You might want to reevaluate that distance, probably.
Yeah, she ran well. But you know what it was again with her? It looked like she just needed that race off the bench.
I don't know. I think she got beaten.
She might be okay this year. She ran real. That's the best race she's ever run off a layoff.
I don't know. I don't agree with you. I think she got there and she just didn't finish. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't blame the layoff. I don't know. Well, if the winner wasn't in there, she should have won. Would you said she needed the race?
I think she needed the race. I think she ran like you just said. No, she would have finished second. She would have finished second to the 7th.
I think she's a tricky horse because she's had some issues, and
Yeah,
I wonder if she's
no
a horse
question.
that has that many races that she can run.
I agree.
In a period of time. Anyhow, we've got 8 today to talk about. We're listed as money. I assume that we are harrowed, though, right?
Yeah, they were showing a video. They were showing the video when Johnny and I was giving right before he gave the changes, and I don't even know if that track. It's probably closer to good than muddy, from what I saw.
And it's a little windy out, so I think there's a little bit of sun, but I'm not sure. I think it's going to get cloudy later, but
supposed to.
Should dry out a little bit. I'm looking forward to getting back on the turf on Saturday and Sunday, closing weekend here at Aqueduct. Best way for you to play Aqueduct, Belmont, any track, anywhere. And I'm going to tell you, since the slate is keeping it a secret, the promo code is Derby25. We're keeping that a secret, so don't tell anybody I told you. But you get a free $25 Derby bet as well as a $200 sign-up bonus. Head to NairaBets.com for more information. Aqueduct Saturday contest, the final one until November. $300 buy-in, all cash prizes. Register now, Naira.com/challenge. You have until 5 o'clock today to sign up for that contest. What else do we have? Day at the races today, 1 to 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. FS2, all the action here, and Oaklawn Park. All right.
Looking forward to Weekend Stakes preview tonight, presented by Naira Bets. 11 stakes races. I won't watch your. I will not watch your preview video of the Apple Blossom and the Oaklawn Handicap.
I did a preview. That was Anthony's way of saying I did a preview video of the Apple Blossom and Oaklawn Handicap.
I will not watch it until
YouTube page.
Tonight at 7 o'clock.
I tweeted it.
7:01. Boom.
Right away.
Right away.
It's short and sweet. It's like 6.5 minutes. It's
beautiful. Right before I head over to Christine's.
Everybody's attention span. My friend Steve Bick could probably make it through.
How did you pick Delaware last weekend?
I don't know. It's a long story. I can't really get into it. It's a secret. Anyhow, we're off the turf in the first race. I don't think that caught anybody by surprise.
Having microphone issues, by the way. Normally it's yours. Did you switch my microphone? Did you come in here in the middle of the night?
No, I have yours. I have a little fuzzy thing on mine. Yours is barren.
It is barren. I'm right.
Looking sharp today. You got your Barney outfit on.
I got my matching mask as well.
You never gave me one of those Bob Edwards masks.
You
hoarded those Bob Edwards E5 racing masks. You know purple's my favorite color, and you kept those for me.
I will bring you a couple tomorrow. Remind me in the morning. You brought me my PPs. Remind me in the morning. I'll bring them to you. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. You know, nothing to apologize about. Race number 1 off the turf. We got basically the same picks here in slightly different orders. Why don't you talk about, is it Scott Alia?
I was going to go Scott Alia, yeah. By the way, there's some rider changes. I don't believe Mr. Irad Ortiz Jr. is here today, so put Raylu Gutierrez on the 3, put Trevor McCarthy on the 10. Those are your...
I imagine Irad is making his way to Oaklawn.
Yes.
Not an easy trip.
Not an easy trip.
Best way to go to Oaklawn, I don't care what anybody says, unless you have a private plane taking you there. But if you go on commercial, fly to Memphis and drive. It's a 3-hour straight shoot. It's very easy.
There you go. Louis Rodriguez Castro riding the 1A Seahorse Doro as well. Debuted first time out. Didn't have the greatest beginning. Made up some ground late. It cuts back to the mile now. The mile on the 16th off the turf cuts back to a 1-turn mile for this distance in here. Originally, this was going to be Irad. It's now Raylu.
I'm going to tell you the problem.
I didn't like it. I really didn't like the race. I thought it was the 3 and the 13.
The problem with this horse, and I could have even put him lower, though obviously he can win. I don't like that race that horse is coming out of. I think it's a phonied up race, and I also think they just sort of all came together at the end, kind of well behind.
When it was long
Yeah,
gone and everybody else bunched,
I'm a little skeptical. A horse could obviously win. The 50 buyer in one race is good enough to win this race in all likelihood. And listen, I should be somewhat ashamed of myself for giving Caladad another chance as 12 start.
You're a brave individual, my friend.
He was horrendous last time. He was wide against a good rail, so he did have an excuse. I don't think it's a viable enough excuse for the pathetic performance.
She didn't run two steps, and what was odd about that, she had run well enough.
She'd run well in her prior two races.
Yeah, the race 3 back on the fast ground.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a good effort. She ran against some better horses.
Remembered the horse she once was, and now she's gone back. She shows up. She's going to win, but believe me, I'm not.
Hard to trust, and you got to figure she's going to be in the 5-2, 3-1 range with the scratches in here.
You would think
she might be the favorite in here.
Well, David made her 5-1 as an MTO, so I don't think David expected her to be that short. The surprising scratch is the 5 exfiltration,
and I have a feeling that's why exfiltration would have been favored in here had she stayed in on the dirt.
Sure. Well, I mean, your horse has a 50 buyer, so I wouldn't.
Well, but it's a drop down. It's a drop down,
But it's Rudy also on the 3. I get it, but it would have been close.
I guess that's the reason I guess when you take into account Scottalia and the dirt race, and you take in exfiltration and running on turf, but a dirt race, I guess you can make Caladad 5-1 because you're assuming. I mean, you were probably as surprised as I was that exfiltration came as.
I have a question about the 10, whose dam was a dirt horse, but she has produced a turf winner, won a 3. Lemon Drop Kid. Is he still standing at stud? Is he still breeding horses? I mean, how old is he?
Well, he was 3 in '99.
He's 25.
So he's 25 now.
How many sires out there are there that age?
They usually pension them, depending on productivity.
He's got a great career as a sire.
And that could be why he's still going in.
No, I mean, listen,
right?
I'm not
AP Indy finally got pensioned at what, 27?
I'm so old. I've seen King Mambo, his sire, at Lane's End. King Mambo is a half to who? Seriously?
No.
Miesk. Or is he a full of Miesk?
Oh, I didn't remember that.
Is Miesk his dam, or is he a... Maybe it's his dam.
Maybe that.
Or, as I heard her name pronounced one day at Keeneland.
Misk?
Misk, like
I've heard Misk a couple of times.
Misk.
I've heard Misk.
Yes.
I've heard Misk.
It's Misk.
That's scary.
I don't care what anybody says, and I don't mean as a knock of Goldakova, who's obviously a remarkable horse. I thought she was incredible.
Yes. Obviously, the Freddie Head. I mean,
connection.
5 Breeders' Cup races between the 2 of them.
When you think about
and the 5 Breeders' Cup miles, not even races, 5 Breeders' Cup miles between the 2 of them.
The 2 wins, well, he rode her and he trained Goldakova, if you don't know what Anthony's alluding to. Her 2 wins were so incredible because they were such different races. One was on that, carpet out at Hollywood Park where she just rolled, and she crushed the field on it in an absolute bog.
And
at
the other,
Churchill
she's
Downs
digging in at Churchill Downs.
She was amazing.
She was something.
I thought she was incredible. And I don't mean that in a knock of the other ones, but I always thought she was the best one I ever saw in those races. And Lure's first Breeders' Cup.
That's when we were talking yesterday about the Hall of Fame, and you said no more rags to riches. I always think of Gio Ponte. Gio Ponte lost his 2 Breeders' Cup races. He was second in the mile to Goldakova and second to Zenyatta on the poly track at Santa Anita. I mean,
he's a more deserving. He didn't get in the Hall of
Fame. No,
right?
He didn't even get nominated this year.
I wouldn't vote for him, and I love Gio Ponte as much as anyone. I love that horse, but he didn't win those races that propel him there.
I understand.
And you can certainly make a much stronger case for him than you can for Rags to Riches.
Yeah, but he's the one I think that should get going. Anyway,
I mean, I understand the argument for him. I just, and I love that horse. Anyhow, we'll move on to race number 2. We'll show the Icy Dude race, and I'm glad to get a chance to show this race because this was a race where I thought Eric Cancel, and listen, I've been plenty critical at times of Eric Cancel. I thought he took way too much criticism.
Agree.
I mean, you would think that he stood up on this horse at the 8th pole and eased this horse. Please show me
8th pole. He just sticked him at the 8th pole.
Him. I mean, the reality is, if he keeps pumping, if he's banging away on the horse, people would accuse him of abusing the whip. He's pumping away. He has never stopped riding this horse at any point in the race, and it's not like the whip in Gallop Racer when you hit the horse with the whip twice and it accelerates. It's not.
Can I say something to you?
He took a ridiculous criticism, totally unfair.
Watching that replay again, and I've watched it numerous times now.
So did I. I watched it because of that.
I think this horse was responding negatively to the whip. I think that's part of the reason he put it away.
I just don't think there was anything left.
Nothing left.
I mean, if you want to criticize him, and
Nothing
I don't criticize
left.
this, you say he moved too soon. Now it's very.
We can
easy.
criticize plenty of his rides in the last year or so. I'm not criticizing that
Well,
one.
it's very easy
And we
to
have,
say
by the
after
way.
a race that a horse moved too soon when it gets caught. I don't think Eric did anything wrong in this race. He was coming off a layoff, and frankly, he's not that good. This horse. Now he may win today. But he's just not
Horse was
that good a
coming
horse.
off almost a 6-month layoff and got tired the last 16th of a mile. I mean, I don't understand what.
I would not picking him. I hope. I hate to say it. I almost hope he loses today to vindicate Eric and say it wasn't his fault. Not that winning says he did anything wrong last time, because I think that is just nonsense.
Yeah, to think that his last effort, if you're going to hold, look, like you said, he's not that good. So I'm going to take chances against a horse like him at even money on the morning line every opportunity I can. Going to use him in the pick 4 and pick 5, but I mean,
I get your, and of course Wayne Potts has this horse in, and it's nice to see Wayne with a horse in, but I don't get this horse at all, Anthony. I mean, I've got him third, but I've got him like way third.
Yeah, that's right. A little more ground for him today. I'm hoping that, he ran well going
What
to 7.
indication is he giving that more ground is a good thing?
Well, last time he was picking him up late.
Those trap shots, love them.
I don't think
Closers
the one turn.
and sprints want more ground?
I think the one turn mile will help.
How's that work for you? Closers and sprints wanting more ground.
I think the 1 turn mile will be fine. I just didn't want Icy Dude. And, look, Beta is the obvious one, I think, if you're trying to take a shot against Icy Dude, because Beta's supposed to be on Beta's supposed to be on a loose lead.
Go to the lead. Just go to the lead.
Yeah.
Just go to the lead with him. And
he's running against better horses.
Well, right. I mean, I don't know what he was doing on the turf last time. Not running would have been.
That was quick turnaround, by the way. That doesn't bother you at all, right?
I don't think about those things because they're random. He is running against better horses in some of his races. I looked at them and I just felt like, listen, I'm not in love with him. I just wanted to pick somebody against Icy Dude. I didn't like the 3 trapeze artists. I've got him third. He can obviously win. I couldn't take anyone else, and I'm hoping Beta wires the field. He's got that fake dressed up win on the good rail, but his race against Financial Stability actually wasn't bad in that Not That Brady race when he chased Not That Brady. So
yeah, and even that day he beat a better horse in Royal Suspect, who's come back to win 2 in a row, right? Royal Suspect.
Well, Royal Suspect was wide against the track, and he didn't run that day, but he was also wide against the track the day he beat him. Yeah. Race number 3. Well, I had spent an enormous amount of time trying to figure out who you pick against the number 6 Warfront Fighter, because we'll show his last race, and he may win this race because the competition is so significantly inferior to him that he may turn around at the 3/16 pole and be 4 in front of these horses. And even if he wants to lose, he can't.
But how about not getting it done here?
This was, and I think you and I bet the winner of this
race. We did.
This was one of the most shameless losses I've ever seen. This race is over. The horse that beat him was going absolutely nowhere. He didn't beat him. This horse lost. He does not want to win. Now, I came up with a ridiculous idea of King Slaughter, and I didn't mind that idea at a big price.
There was no ridiculous idea in here.
But I wanted to make, I just moved my picks around because I can't live with myself putting Warfront Fighter on top. I don't particularly like Sinishak. I don't particularly like Jailbreaker either. Where am I supposed to go with this horse, who frankly hasn't run a good race, but I guess maybe the wet track?
I'm going to tell you 2 things. Here, the
best race he ever ran is a wet track.
There are 3 things. Best race he ever ran is a wet track. He's a fresh gelding. And since the gelding, the 2 works. He worked him 48 and change twice. Listen, I'm not a workout guy, but I'm not picking Warfront Fighter.
We know you're not a workout guy.
In every sense of the word. I'm not picking Warfront Fighter. That's just, it's never happening.
Well, Anthony, he didn't work particularly better than he worked before he was gelded.
Yeah, but no. Yes.
Were you there for the gelding?
Understandable
what
you're saying. But what I'm trying, I am not a moil.
I don't think they refer. That's not what. That's a little offensive.
I know it's not offensive. No, the fact that he's worked twice since the procedure and they've been good. I'm not trying to because he worked 49 and worked.
It's not like he's.
I understand
listen,
that,
but there are 2 horses you can take, I think.
The 2 or the 7.
If
you can't take the other
6.
horses.
So I'm not going to, and he doesn't have that good wet track race, so I don't have a problem with that. He was atrocious last time. I watched his last race because I wanted to pick him. And I'm glad I didn't because I'd rather give the other alternative to him. I wanted to pick him. He was right on the rail last time. The rail is the place to be, and he was awful. But we'll see.
I think we're both picking against this horse.
We're both picking bad horses against him.
Fully knowing that at some point,
The 6 majors.
most of these horses like Warfront Fighter, finally find fields they're going to beat. That could very well be the case here today, but
He'll probably win.
he's going to be 2 to 5. So
I can't pick him.
have at it. I can't pick him either.
I can't pick him. I feel like if you pick him, you're supposed to be relatively comfortable, if not singling him completely, leaning on him for a significant part of your play. And I would never lean heavily on a horse like this in the multi-race bets because he's just...
These are the early pick 5s, by the way, that also look like they're going to pay $14 on paper.
That's always
and you beat a horse like this, and you beat a horse like Icy Dude, and then all of a sudden you're talking about a nice little payout in short fields.
In general, and there are obviously exceptions to the rule, but in general, when people say, "Oh, I'm not playing that," it looks chalky.
Never
it's
happens.
Just dopey. It's
Yeah.
like it's Steve Christ's. What Steve Christ always says. There are exceptions, obviously, a lot of small fields, certain things. But it's like Steve would say, "Don't worry about what it pays. You put your play in.
Put your play in and hope for the best.
And, maybe it does chalk out, and you lose a few dollars in hitting it.
And listen,
but
we're not exactly talking about
smart in 1 or 2 spots, and they pay big.
And these aren't exactly graded stakes races, so there's better chance for chaos here than there would be for a better quality, a higher echelon of horses.
As far as Sinishak, I don't have a strong defense of this horse. If you like him, you're hoping that he improves off the claim.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have enough. I mean, obviously it's from the George Weaver barn. I don't know how much you can expect that, but I'm just hoping maybe this horse gets a new barn. He does have 2 races that are close enough to give him a chance. I don't. It's either the 6 going to win or the 2 or 7 are going to win. I wanted to make my case for King Slaughter, and I was denied that. King Slaughter sounds like it should be a name of a wrestler, doesn't it?
Sergeant Slaughter was a big wrestler back in the 80s. He feuded with the Iron
Was
Sheik.
King his father?
No, they finished the feud with a huge boot camp match at Madison Square Garden. I was there. Iron Sheik had the boots. Sergeant Slaughter won, of course. And then they wound up teaming up in 2000 for WrestleMania 7 against the Hulk Hogan.
How much richer is your life for getting to hear all of this incredible information
The Hulk Hogan
on Talking Horses? Race number 4 is a fun race. We will start the discussion of race number 4 with the Dark Money Bronx Bomber Steam Engine race, and we'll start the conversation by showing you Bronx Bomber getting left here. Now, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Oddly enough, did getting left help Bronx Bomber? Because it was a monster pace, and I give Steam Engine a lot of credit, even though I didn't put him anywhere in the top 4, but I won't be surprised by pretty much any result in this race.
Agreed. Best race of his life. This is the best race of his life, and it's against everything Bronx Bomber had done up until this point.
But he got an unbelievably good. If he could have angled out there, he might have won.
Right.
Having to come.
But that hole kind of closed up on him too, going around
if it hadn't, and he was
busting
able to angle
Timberlake.
out sweetly, he might have won. He doesn't really want to pass horses in the stretch because he did kind of hang on the money in the end. There was a lot of hanging on the money, and that's why Dark Money got it done. This was a very, very strange race. The thing about Steam Engine is, who's riding him now?
So Steam Engine will be ridden by Kendrick.
Well, in an odd way, that's a good rider change.
Right. Well, yes.
Irad gets a little cute on speed horses.
He does.
Kendrick rarely
He's nowhere near as
does.
aggressive as Kendrick would be on this
How confident are you he's going to outrun this horse early, Bears Mafia?
I'm
Because
not.
Bears Mafia is very, very fast. And I think they've made it pretty clear, and we'll take a look at Bears Mafia's last race when he came back on the starter day. Are they going to have to deal with
Claiming
this horse?
championship day, yes. Especially from the rail under the gun, right? I mean, Pablo Morales put this horse on a lead last time where, he wasn't facing a horse as fast as Steam Engine necessarily, but like I think you were about to say before you threw it to the video, I mean, they've made their intentions pretty clear with him now. He's a horse that does his best work on the lead. I know he wanted Finger Lakes coming from well off the pace, but the truth of the matter is
He's got to go.
He's got to go, and he's on the rail, and he has no, because the last thing you want is to have to be on the chase of Steam Engine.
Let me ask you a question. Are you convinced that Bronx Bomber is not forward here?
No.
He's not as fast as those horses, but he's got to be forward here.
Right, and I can't imagine that
Trevor doesn't want to come from well back.
off of
I'm not
one
saying he
effort
wants
like
to be
that.
dueling between horses, but he doesn't
Right.
want to come from
And
well back.
now you also have to, because you said you were right. I mean, yes, when a speed horse breaks poorly, normally the day is over.
No,
He
no.
had chances to win that race last time,
It's a wicked,
and he got a
wicked
really
pace.
good trip after the break. Now you could say a speed horse can't have a good trip after the break. Well, if they can, he did. You'd have to imagine he's going to be a lot more forward than he was last time.
So
So I went off the reservation a little bit.
no kidding.
I went
Does
off the
term
reservation a little bit.
slow
I'm well aware.
come to mind for
I'm
you?
well aware. I'm well aware. You know, this horse came back off the March layoff into October and ran into Bust and Shout.
You're regurgitating the PPs.
Oh, just give me a second. This horse just got better. And then last time, he lost all chance when the gate opened. He started getting better. I mean, he started coming back to the form that he started
Let
his
me
career
ask you a
with,
question.
where I thought he was going to be okay. He still
What
has to
better
improve.
has he run that's even remotely good enough to win
Listen,
here
I'm not
unless
saying
this race
he
just-
still has to get better. I don't know what would have happened last time. He kind of lost all chance once the gate opened, and he was just unprepared at the start. I don't love the fact that we haven't seen this horse for almost 3 months again. 11 weeks, just
The
about.
problem I have with him, Anthony, is he doesn't have one race that stands
I
out.
know that. I'm betting him a little bit on the come.
You
I'm
think?
just hoping that there's a little bit of a pace in here. I mean, even you would have to say there has to be some pace in here, I would think. He comes running.
I'll put it this way. There's a possibility there's pace in here.
Yeah, you know,
And that's why I picked.
he has to improve for sure. You took the more logical horse if you are.
I don't get David's line. How is
assuming-
Silver Lily's 50% higher in the odds than Silly K?
Yeah, I mean,
Key.
connections. Linda and Jose Ortiz over Bob Casares and Manny Franco is the only thing I could come up with. I thought I would be picking the longest shot on the board.
You
I still
you
think
did,
I'll
you
be
did,
picking
you-
the longest shot on the board.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. I would bet David a lunch on that.
Right.
I think I owe David like a nice dinner or something. I think I said something if it's one of his lines or something he was right about.
I just
Maybe he'll
wanted,
come out of hiding one day.
I just wanted to take a little shot with him.
Witness protection, I think.
And Bronx Bomber, you know, again, Bronx Bomber, they're going to ask Bronx Bomber, I would imagine, to do something. You know, he's probably going to have to sit off of the pace today.
He's not fast enough to run with those horses anyway.
He's going to have to sit off the pace today.
Right.
So, and at least last time he proved he could pass some horses.
And he's in good form.
He's in good form.
Really good form. As
Yep.
far as Seven Lilies, we'll look at her win 3 races back. So, okay, what's happened to her since then? Well, he's been wide 2 back against a gold rail, a super gold rail. And last time out, he was trying to close on a day where it was just impossible to make up ground. And we've seen the proof of that. We saw the proof of that with a horse who was in that mile race. Malibu, not the horse I like, Olinda's that won last week. These horses were badly compromised by the way the racetrack was playing. So this horse has really been against a couple times. The thing about him was he really seemed to be improving. Now, I do have a concern. How wet's the track? His bad race is in a muddy sealed track. This is obviously not a muddy sealed track. It'll probably be a good Harrow track by then. But I am a little bit concerned. He did win a good sealed track at Finger Lakes. That concerns me. Is he better on a fast track?
I won't be surprised if this track is labeled good by the time we spring the latch in 55 minutes.
Steve, I just said that, Steve.
No. What I'm saying is, I'm not worried about it now. And then if we're talking about the 4th race,
I think the track will probably be good by then, Steve.
No, what I'm saying is, I won't be surprised if we're closer to fast by the 4th race. If that wind keeps up, I don't think there's a lot of moisture in that track.
How windy out is it, do you think?
Enough if I'm writing this closer to good now, and we have 2.5 hours till the 4th. I would think that track will be closer to fast by then.
You have no memory of when you had a beard. I still don't remember it. Do you have a video
I
of
had
that?
a beard until like 3 weeks ago.
I don't buy it.
Are you serious? No. You don't.
I'm not paying that much attention to how your looks.
And you calling me Steve?
There has to be somebody that ignores your incredible good looks occasionally. There are so few that do.
That ignores my incredible. No.
That's
How could you do that?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, look at this
I'm
face.
that guy. Anyway, we'll
His
be
face
back
is
after a quick
unbelievable.
break for the late pick 4.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and Naira Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With Naira Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the Naira Bets app or visit NairaBets.com.
Welcome back to Talking Horses. Big A, Anthony Stabile.
Hope you were paying attention during the break.
So we're down to
folks.
63.
We're down to 63.
63.
Because I won for those of you keeping score at home, I won the
3.
lunch
Then we
bet
split
before
other
the
two.
show.
Yeah, right. And we split.
They didn't know
You
that.
won the 3, and we split the other 2.
Steve asked, one of the Steves
And,
asked
I
on
haven't
Twitter.
even mentioned I did win the bet against what's her name? Dublin or nothing. You're insane selection there.
She called it a day early yesterday.
Well, the competition was a little steeper. Race
I
number
asked for that one
5.
too. What would that have got me? 4? I took 2 to 1, but I would have got me 4.
No, you would have won.
4.
Well, you lost 1, you would have won 2, so it's a 3 swing. Because you won the other bet. No, you lost. That's the bet I gave you 2 to 1. I lost the bet. Yeah, because I lost 4. No, you would have won 6 in total. It's a 3 lunch swing.
Brutal. Dublin or nothing.
Yeah, you must have been drinking. Anyway, race number 5. You know,
I don't drink
I
a
didn't
lot.
really want to put
Often. During the week.
only flaming Mai Tais for big boy over here.
Can't wait. 3 months. 3 months from yesterday. Give me a flaming Mai
You could
Tai.
probably find them somewhere just not close to where you live because you might not want your friends to know you're drinking flaming Mai Tais.
Love flaming Mai
Anyhow,
Tais. Gotta
we'll
light that
take a look
lime
at
up.
Malibu Pro in this race. Honestly, I did not want to go back to him because he should have won this race. Having said that, the horse who beat him got a dream trip. And I have absolutely no idea where the horse who beat him came up with this race. I
don't either.
I have no idea. I'll go to my grave wondering what went on that this horse decided to run 10 lengths better than he had run in a long.
We don't accept it. We don't accept the excuse that he beat us.
He still ran a 90 buyer, and at the end of the day, and I wanted to pick against this guy. I just think he's going to win this race.
I picked the other Rudy, but yeah, I don't disagree with you.
You and Nick Tamro. What am I missing about Supreme
You
Aura?
don't like Supreme Aura, huh?
No, why would I like this horse? This horse had a perfect trip last time and did no running, went backwards.
Oh, I thought he ran pretty well 2 starts back.
Yeah, you did, but I didn't. Okay.
I thought he ran pretty well 2 starts back.
Similar track to the one he gets today.
Well,
No, I'm saying 2 starts back.
Yeah.
Similar track, a muddy Harrow track.
we'll see how muddy it is.
Man, those tracks are never muddy. They're listed as muddy. They're usually closer to good.
Usually closer to
There are
good.
a lot of those muddy tracks, muddy Harrow tracks we listed when we probably should have upgraded them 5 races before. So I don't really worry that much about them. I think it's a very similar track to the one he's going to face today.
Yeah.
All right, I never got.
I
this
thought it
horse,
was
to be
those
honest,
2,
so-
and I thought it was
Really?
those 2. Yeah, I thought it was those 2.
You don't think that Vintage Hollywood's possible? He lost to your favorite horse in training.
He
What
did.
do you think now, heading for the Met? Is he got to have is he going to Westchester? and
I
then
would assume the
Met?
commentator.
Or just like right, the Churchill Downs handicap at Charlton, maybe?
The commentator. What's wrong with the commentator? Flat mile? Little stakes action? For the state breds?
So legit. Well, So Legit getting a perfect trip win under IRAD against nobody last time. This is the horse that I would want. If
That's
I'm
the
trying to beat
truest
this
thing you ever
horse.
said, by the way.
This horse beat absolutely nobody.
Perfect trip win against nobody.
I couldn't agree more. I don't want to be too disparaging about the Mighty Runabout and Grit and Glory, but this is a significantly tougher bunch. Having said that, we'll show you some stats for Linda Rice. And I know this was a Todd Pletcher reject. And Todd Pletcher rejects are probably not the kind of horse you do well with. Linda's pretty sharp. And Linda's numbers off the claim with dirt routes, this is unbelievable.
That's remarkable.
I had no idea they were this good. Now, to be fair, there are horses that are paying under $7, but
I don't care. You're claiming horses, running them long, and you're winning with over a third of them?
it's incredible.
That, by the way, that's the same percentage as favorites.
And by the way, she has the same percentage at Naira. It's not like those are, she's 27 for 82 at Naira, 33%, 223 ROI. So it's not like
That's a
she's
remarkable
winning
stat.
races out of town and boosting her
It's
stats.
It's just so hard to win off of Todd Pletcher. It's just so hard. And you said this about, being a Todd Pletcher reject. He gave him an awful lot of chances before he started dropping them in too.
Right, but I'm going to say something else. And I think it's something you're aware of, but when you start getting to April, May, your 2-year-olds are going to
2-year-olds starting to come in.
And
And then he has 100 of them.
that's when trainers, whether it's
Yep.
Todd Pletcher, a lot of trainers, Chad Brown, a lot of trainers,
Yep.
you start thinking about, I got horses in my barn, and
What am I gonna do with them?
What am I going to do with them?
Yep.
And
No question
you've
about
got
it.
owners that are saying, I want my 2-year-olds, and don't think it's Todd or Chad or whoever. making
It's
the decision.
everyone.
It's owners saying, the owner says, I've got a horse that might be a 35 claimer if I'm lucky, and I want to get my 2-year-olds going. Let's move on.
Right.
So, I think that's part of the reason. I think that's one of the reasons Linda didn't mind claiming him. She probably thought about that. And
There's opportunity,
Right,
of course.
right.
Yeah, no question about it.
But I'm torn between the two. It's still
hard
claim
to-
from
it's
Todd.
hard to
I
claim
agree.
horses off that
I
guy.
don't disagree. Race number 6. Race number 6 is a funny race. Price, I think, Miss Leanna is 6-1. Okay, so he has these horses big price. We'll show the replay. So it's not really that important. You've got Miss Leanna, who beat Movie Score and Blunt Force and Cadota Pay and Awesome Atlanta. So you can have these fields. I don't want anybody out of these races particularly. Miss Leanna rode a gold rail. Yeah, Cadota Pay ran well in there, but was claimed out of the last race. She was against the track, Cadota Pay. I just think these horses, these were very inferior fields. That's what I think. Good trips with the track trips and inferior fields.
Yeah, Miss
But they're
Leanna's
big
had
prices, so-
some nice trips. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I think on the step up, she'll be a little bit of a better price today. I think
Should she be 20, 15
Yeah,
to 1
no,
here?
I understand
Oh, you got
that,
her
but
second?
yeah.
You love horses off wins.
I like her. I
You
mean,
love
she's-
them off wins.
I just think she's in form against some of these horses that really aren't
Okay,
in great
we'll
form.
have some lunch bets in this race.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't lunch bet this race in a million years. I wouldn't lunch bet. I don't have any confidence in this race, but I just want the horses that I want. Blunt Force, who's first time Rob Actress. I mean, I really don't have much else about Blunt Force.
You're like, you're like the Grinch.
First time Rob
I feel
Actress.
like a kid that came down on the holiday.
You
and
wanna
all
bet
the
on- I'll
presents
bet- well,
were gone.
I'll-
No.
we
I
can
don't
bet
want-
on lunch.
I
I'll
don't
bet you
want you to
one
do
lunch.
anything you don't want to do. You're down 63 lunches.
Yeah,
I want you to
mean-
feel that you've lost all of your lunches not under duress.
This wouldn't be. I mean, I think you have.
I think Miss Leanna will be lucky to hit the pentafecta.
Okay,
here. But
I
then again,
think you have the. I wanted to take
I don't.
Blunt Force or Flat Awesome Jenny. I wanted to have Miss Leanna in the mix.
Flat Awesome Jenny, by the way, I like to bet David a lunch. She'll be favored over New Year's Day.
Listen,
Wish.
the only thing I'll say is this: it's a big drop. Even when this horse was running for a 40, it's
Who?
New Year's Wish. This is a big drop. This is a big drop. This
You know
horse had
what
run
New
for
Year's
40.
Wish's job has been this winter?
Yeah, to make races
Make
go.
races go for Linda's.
Well,
other
now
horses.
she's going to be tasked with doing something. And the fact that Jose Ortiz is riding her today, I
Well,
think.
much like John Velasquez and Leo O'Brien, he's tangentially
Aunt-in-law?
related. He's
Aunt-in-law?
tangentially
Yeah,
related
the
to
aunt-in-law.
Linda. You know, that could be a new angle. You know, Jose riding for Linda in the last race.
Aunt, however you describe, if you're in Queen, just say Aunt. I don't know. Nobody's
Auntie-
from Queen.
Auntie Linda?
Auntie Linda, yeah.
Think Linda likes that?
No.
I'm thinking she doesn't, so I'm
No.
going to definitely start using it.
What else is there? Only when Jose rides, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I want to use a few horses in here.
Listen, I put her third, New Year's Wish. I've always liked this horse. She can obviously
Mm-hmm.
win. There's no way in the world you could possibly trust this horse at all. And I feel like she's a better price to finish seventh than she is to win. But she could win this race. I just thought Flat Awesome Jenny, maybe she just makes too much sense, but you look at the race, she's trying to close going a mile. She's not really a miler. So she's cutting back in distance, which is to her benefit, where she's done her best running. She tried to close in a race where you couldn't close, in a day you couldn't close, and she was actually somewhat effective. You look at her races running against better horse, Malibu Mischief. That was
She
a
is
super
just
slow
running.
pace
She
race
is just
two
running
back.
against better horses. And you take that race
I don't trust
out.
this horse, but I think it's a horse to beat. And my problem with Blunt Force, who I put second, and I thought about picking Ant. It's an ex-Tom Amos horse. This horse has been through the mill. I know she was. Listen, she was against the track last time. I'll tell you something that's interesting. Have you ever seen this owner before?
No. I've never seen the owner, and there's
Rob
another.
Actress has never had a horse for him.
And there's another
Unless you had
interesting-
something hidden.
There's another
not
interesting
hidden, but
thing in here that you're going to tell me is
stable.
voodoo.
What?
Putting blinkers on her. This is something that the barn is not successful with. And ordinarily, when he claims horses, Rob, he runs them as is from the last barn.
That's for 2 months.
I know. The fact that he's stepping her up off the 2 months and making the equipment change after having her leads me to believe she's been a little bit of a pet project for him. I don't know anything.
She was never that good, though. And she's excellent.
And I don't think I don't disagree with that. But all of this, new owner, the equipment change, the 2 months, still running around the raise off the 2 months, all of it led me to believe, and obviously his numbers first off the claim are fantastic. It just led me there at 5 or 6
I don't
to
think his
1.
numbers claim are that fantastic, are they?
I got the short numbers here. He's 35% the last 15 months.
Short numbers.
44 horses, 49 claims, 50 claims.
Okay,
That's a good number.
That's a good number. No, I
Yeah.
agree.
You know,
Fantastic.
over a third. Those are Rudy numbers.
I happen to have caught Gabby calling a horse great on the show. I was very proud of her. She did correct herself. You know, I hate that.
Yeah, that's a word that a lot of people
Well,
throw
it
around too
diminishes
much.
greatness
Yes.
by calling good horses great.
Yeah.
It does.
I know with somebody about this a few nights ago in the
It's like anything.
in the cigar shop, calling a team that won a World Series great. It was like, somebody wins the World Series every year. Not every team that wins the World Series is great.
I agree with you.
It's different. You know, it's a different kind of thing.
I couldn't agree more.
You know,
Right.
the '86 Mets team was a great baseball team.
Well, it was an incredible
Right?
array of
The
talent.
03 Marlins team, save the fact that they beat the Yankees, was not a great baseball team.
No, but that was such a great thing.
It was they did something great, but they were not great. There's a big difference there.
But it still was great. We still
Like, is Justified did something great. Is he a
was
great
not-
racehorse?
no.
Not at all.
If he got a chance to run as a 4-year-old,
Different
maybe
story.
he could have
But
been. He had a great accomplishment.
Eric
Gates Travers was a great performance, his Dubai World Cup. He had greatness. The problem with his career was it was 4 races, and they were unbelievable. He verges on greatness, but
oh, I think he's great. But I
you know
understand.
what I'm
I can
saying,
see
and
the
loved
other.
him.
I can
You
see
know,
the
I
side
loved
of the
him,
argument.
But he came along at
Right.
he came along at a great time because he showed people what a great horse looked like, or what a great performance looked like against mediocrity.
A couple of times,
you know,
yeah.
and especially in that Travers, because that 3-year-old crop was a disaster.
I tell people that all the time. You bookend those 2 performances, you find another horse. I mean, you could even go back to Secretariat. Secretariat had never had 4 races like his 4 races. Because the race before he lost to Wood, and the race after he went to Arlington and won in that 4-horse field. He never had 4 races that you could compare to those 4, especially with the bookends. He has 3.
It was pretty good.
He had 3, but he never had 4 in a row. In a row.
Race number 7.
In a row.
Race number 7. You've taken my horse, Daddy knows. You really steal.
How did I take your-
This is Anthony.
I took your horse.
This is Anthony Stabile stealing all my pets. No, it is. You've taken Daddy knows, who you didn't like at all when he won,
When?
and I had to 2 back. You hated him, and I loved him. Don't argue because you know it's true.
I hate. Hold on a second. You think I ever hated a Rudy horse in my life?
You did. You did. It was disrespectful to Rudy.
I don't
I'm gonna let
remember
it
this
go.
at all.
You've stolen
We
my
gotta check
category
tape on
1,
this.
who you know is one of my pets. You've got him second.
We gotta check tape on this.
You didn't like him at all that day, and I convinced you to bet him.
Why didn't you pick Danny California then for revenge?
Danny California actually ran pretty well 3 races back.
I picked him and you made fun of me that day.
He ran well. He finished 4th, beating 11.
You just said he ran pretty well.
He did. It's remarkable. He finished 4th, beating 11. He did. It's one of the best races he ever ran.
Okay.
And you bet him. You picked him that day. He was 4th.
No, wait a second.
beating
Did
11,
you just
and
say I
ran
took
incredibly.
category 1 from you?
Oh, you stole him from me.
I
You know
picked
love
category 1
him. No, you.
when he won.
Yeah, but you didn't pick him last time like I did.
When he ran 6th and everybody tore up. Are you kidding here or what?
You know, I'm going to say, by the way.
Wow, what a sick individual you've become.
By the way, I'm glad you brought that up in all seriousness. The running line is incorrect in the paper. He was never 7th, 12th.
I thought it was wrong.
I think they switched him. They may have switched him at Bronx Bomber. Now that I'm looking at it, hang on a second. Yeah, I think they switched him at Bronx Bomber. No, he was never 7th, 12 lengths behind. He may have fallen back. I think he was never that far back.
That far back. That could also be a typo or something.
It may have been a typo. It may have been a trackers error or something. He was not far back. Since we're discussing him, why I took a shot with him. He ran very, very well in the Chestertown race, and then he chased Jerry the Nipper in a muddy sealed track, and he was off a ways. And he came back last time after he was off close to 3 months, and he was probably too close, frankly, to that fast pace in there in sprinting. Now he's stretching out. Now, obviously, he's got speed. He's got El Urbano inside of him. He's got Daddy Knows inside of him, but they're inside of him.
And he's he's shown the ability to sit off of them, and he's shown an ability to rate.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's live in
I don't
here.
know that he's good enough because he may, at the end of the day, he just may not be good enough, but he's a big price, so I don't mind taking him.
See, when I looked at him as well,
You stole him from me. Just
the
admit it.
the 3 mile races, right? He ran very well in the Chestertown race. He had no chance when he chased Jerry the Nipper, like you said.
Who's disappeared. He's got into witness protection.
Yeah. The other mile race is a good race. The 7/8 race, his 7/8 race and the mile race, those were good back-to-back efforts.
His last race isn't that bad.
His last race isn't that bad as well, especially when you consider the layoff. Now he's getting back to what he wants to do, which is 7/8 to a mile. He gets the flat mile, the 1-turn mile.
I think if
at
they
that
just let him
price,
drop back last time and they hadn't asked him to be competitive early to turn, and it's easy to say that because the pace got so hot.
And Anthony went fast last time.
He might have been a lot closer.
he
in
went
this situation.
fast. He went fast
Yeah,
last
he was
time.
chasing a fast pace.
I got to go back to Daddy Knows. Listen, Daddy Knows is getting Manny Franco now. He's getting a stronger rider. He had a little trouble getting to the far turn last
To
time.
be fair, and Yes, that rider, man, he's a much stronger rider. He is a horse that gets out.
He
Maddie
is.
was talking about
And I'm
that.
not blaming Romero, but what I'm saying is
Manny's
he's got
much
a guy
stronger
like
rider.
Manny that's
No,
going to...
I agree.
That's going to, you know what I mean?
Agree.
He'll...
But I'm just trying to say it's not. He's a
It was
tough
not.
horse
He's
to
a tough
ride.
horse to ride. This is, you know what he's have to, right? He's have to miss the buff.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's have to miss the buff. He can be tough to ride, and now you're going to get somebody like Manny, who's one of the strongest guys in that room. So,
This guy's fast. He's got to let this guy roll. And he was
Yeah.
also wide last time while getting out against a gold rail.
Yep, and he ran against horses. I know Doubly Blessed, distance kind of unhinged him
Well, he
last
also came
time.
a gold rail.
And he came up a gold rail.
He was dressed up
Malibu
doubly
Star,
hinged,
he
double
took Malibu
blessed.
Star out to the middle of the track. Malibu Star was wider than him.
Well, Lindo
But
was wider than him, and Lindo's horse came back and won last week.
Right, that's a good race. And
I agree.
I think I had to take a shot with him, getting Manny. And, you know, like you said, yeah, El Hermano's in here.
Obviously, the line changes because I assume
Yeah.
that Control Group was first or second, maybe favorite here.
Yeah, I don't have a program.
I don't love, look, I don't love Wild Banker, who's going to take a lot of money in here, and David does have him the third choice, and I think he could even be shorter. You know, he's coming off 3 good performances. You bet the right horse in here, the horse who ran second. He lost, but Wild Banker got the trip. I feel like Wild Banker is now moving into a race. Control Group was 5-2 morning line. Is moving into a race against the big boys in here. Don't you feel like this is a really, really tough race?
Yep,
for
and
him?
his figures stack up, but he is getting a serious. You know, I've seen enough of Too Early. Like you said, Tiergan ran well, but I mean,
This
yes,
is a huge.
this
Now, he is getting pace to run at, and he's in good form.
He
You have
is.
to be careful of going against horses in good form. But, and I'm on the fence with Just Right, and you and I have the same, you know, 3 in just different order. But I got to tell you something. He ran okay last time. The rail was good. He was outside off the rail. I thought about picking him on top.
And is he a horse that maybe, I know you don't buy as much into this as I do, is he a horse that's just,
So I'm gonna say no.
the mile is something that he's probably better at than the sprint races and everything else?
He
It
has run
certainly
well at
looks that
6
way.
furlongs.
He
Yeah.
has, but I mean, you look at his mile races,
Maybe. I don't know.
his mile races, he's had some success at a mile.
I'll put it this way. He's not hurt by it being a mile.
No,
So,
No.
I mean, I think he's a very logical horse in this race. And I think he's a similar type to Wild Banker, and I think he's better.
I agree. And you know, the Cold Hard Cash was interesting in here too. I don't know what happened last time.
He was. That's my problem.
Yeah,
I don't run
the race
Lindorff
last time was
races
terrible.
like
The 2
that.
races at Belmont in the fall were really good. I mean, he looked like he was improving and going somewhere. And then he kind of hit.
Race 2 back was not good, Anthony. He came up the rail. He was very fortunate in there.
Oh, no. And listen,
I
we
don't
just
like
talked
his
about
race.
Too Early, and, you know, Magnetron was running for a tag before
I
that
just
race.
I just don't like his recent form.
Yeah. He took
I don't want
a
Lindor
lot of
bad
money
form.
into what do you think now last time? He just didn't run 2 steps.
We're
He
coming
didn't
up.
run 2 steps. I'll have him on a backup ticket.
I got to tell you, race number 8. I mean, I can't speak for you, but how excited are you to take 260 on Madeira?
Man, I
Look
got
at Madeira's last race. I'm going to say something. Madeira's last race, I thought it was better than the race that she won.
We talked about
Trying
that
to go
after the
7
race.
furlongs, and she met the great OK Honey, and I have no problem saying that she's the greatest 3 for 47 horse that ever lived. I love OK Honey. She's just such a hard trying horse.
Yeah, she's just supposed
She
to.
is,
I mean,
this
this filly's supposed to get in front of these horses today and
this
supposed to
is
be over with, right?
Ridiculous, especially with the scratches. I mean, who can run with her?
Nobody.
She's just
Nobody.
I mean, what is she going to pay in here?
She's got to be
morning
under.
line.
She's got to be under 1 to 2. Well, I mean,
She was even money, and Tough Bird was 5-1 scratched. Blitzton Lady, who was 6-1 scratched. I mean,
David had her that low, huh? I
Who?
thought Tough Bird would be like 7-2 morning line. David had her that low.
he had her 5-1.
No, I meant Madeira. I didn't realize Madeira was
Even
even
money?
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
You thought? I mean, I
When you
don't
gave,
even like Madeira.
When you
and I
gave
picked
it,
against
right,
her.
when you gave it the first glance, it was just like, I mean, how is she going to get beat? And then, I guess even money makes sense. Yeah, I mean, she's got to be under 1 to 2 with the scratches. Who else are you going to bet? Vitanza off a 2 race? Could you imagine if Vitanza won 3 in a row? I put her second. Could you imagine if Vitanza won 3 in a row?
You know what I feel like Derby time is? It's like a 2 weeks of a full moon. The crazy stuff that people say, right?
I've really tried to behave this year. I really have.
How's that working out for you?
Good. So
Really?
far, it's worked out good. I had to update the Vegas Insider stuff today, but other than that, I'm trying to keep it, you know, I printed my PPs from yesterday, did a little look. Man, the problem is so many of these horses, especially on the bottom end of the totem pole, they look the same.
The Derby full of horses that look the same. I
Yeah.
don't disagree.
Right? It's almost like these 6 look the same, these 6 look the same, these 4 look the same.
Luckily, I no longer sleep, so I'll have plenty of time to.
You've been having, I've been sleeping, but I've been having really weird. Last night I dreamt I caught a fish, and then a dog came
This
alongside
might
of
be
me.
a good time to tell people to
And
go
I
over
gave the
Naira
dog
Bets.
to a young man that was at the pier with me
Yeah,
fishing.
there's
a weird
probably
dream.
a few people that are, of a psychiatric background who will be checking in with you after this. We're going to head over to Naira Bets, though, and not discuss Anthony's dreams anymore.
If I take them to my house,
Much as I'd love
if I
to
take
hear
them to my house, can I get a group break?
all about them. By the way, for those of you that are wondering, yes, you need a promo code for this.
Derby 25.
No, it's not listed on the slate. Free $25 Derby bet with plus a $200 sign-up bonus, whatever that means. I'm assuming that means we match up to $200 if you deposit it, right? We don't just give you $200 if you signed up. I'm guessing.
That's
I'm not that
correct.
smart, but I'm guessing.
That's correct. That's above your pay grade. Contest. Last one at the Big A.
Make a great point. Yep, that's right. Last one, well, until November.
Till November.
The week after the Breeders' Cup. There won't be one the first weekend
Right, all
because we'll have
Breeders'
the
Cup Day,
Breeders'
of
Cup
course.
betting challenge.
Make a great point. $300 buy-in, all cash prizes, naira.com /
I'm
challenge.
ready. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, but I'm ready. My battery's going to die at some point, but I'm good.
You got to be ready. You got this all
I'm
day.
heading right upstairs. Join my good friend Acacia. 1 to 6:30.
Talk about stealing things. Your good friend,
Well,
Acacia.
she was your friend. I think.
Wow.
I think her allegiance. By the way, I discussed that with you. She's not taking you to see. What horse was she going to? Did you want her to take you to see?
War Dancer.
Well, she's not. I told her. I discussed
much?
it with her. She's not taking it. We
How
discussed
many
it.
lunches you want to bet on that? 163?
We discussed it. It's not happening.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see about that.
It's not. I'm sorry. I mean, I hate to be the one that breaks it to you, but
Remember
somebody
when
has to.
Durkin used to say, not today? That's a not today for Andy Sterling. I can tell you that right now. You think you're 2 to 5, you will go down like Skip Away in the 98 Classic, my friend. Up in the air. It'll be all over with. See ya. Ready to send it to Johnny I?
We are going to send this to Johnny I and enjoy the day. We will see you again. We will see you again tomorrow. I'll see you in just a few minutes.
Goodbye.